I still remember that fateful night with an aching clarity that refuses to fade. It began like any other evening, with a quiet routine of a man who had spent his entire life taking comfort in small habits and familiar rituals. My father, a man of gentle strength and steadfast reliability, had a nightly routine so ingrained in him that it seemed as natural as breathing. Night after night, without fail, he would rise from his warm bed, often once, sometimes twice, to make his way to the bathroom. It was a ritual we never questioned because it was simply part of who he was. But on that one night, something went terribly wrong. That night began in the same calm, unassuming way, but ended in a silence so heavy and unyielding that it shattered our family's sense of security. When my father left his bed and did not return, the minutes stretched on into an eternity of panic and despair. What should have been a harmless act of routine had transformed into an event so life-altering, so devastating, that our world was irrevocably altered in a matter of moments. In the early hours of that tragic night, as we sat in a state of numb disbelief, our minds raced with questions that seemed to offer no solace. How could something so ordinary, a simple trip from the warmth of his bed to the cool, dimly lit hallway, lead to such an unimaginable loss? We were left grasping for answers in the midst of a sorrow that seemed both endless and unfathomable. Every time I close my eyes, I see him moving through the darkness, his steps measured and deliberate, and I am reminded of the cruel irony that a habit so constant and benign could harbor such hidden dangers. We began to understand, with a painful clarity, that the risks he faced were not the result of some freak accident, but of a silent menace that had been lurking in his life for far too long. This tragedy has since transformed into a mission to ensure that no other family endures a loss like ours. We have come to realize that each night, as countless seniors rise from bed, they face risks that most of us never consider. The truth is both simple and unsettling. For many elderly individuals, the act of getting up at night can be a life-threatening venture. The dangers are insidious because they hide behind the veneer of everyday routine, emerging only when a momentary lapse, an unexpected bout of dizziness, a sudden drop in blood pressure, or even a moment of dehydration, turns a benign action into a catastrophic event. It is a stark reminder that aging brings with it a host of vulnerabilities, many of which are invisible until it is too late. In our conversations with doctors, caregivers, and experts in geriatric health, we have learned that the very processes that sustain life in youth can become precarious as the body ages. For instance, as we grow older, our cardiovascular system loses the resilience it once had, and a sudden change in position, like rising too quickly from bed, can cause blood pressure to plummet dramatically. This condition, often known as orthostatic hypotension, is alarmingly common among the elderly. Studies have shown that more than a third of older adults experience such sudden shifts, which can lead to dizziness, disorientation, and even fainting spells. In the worst cases, a simple misstep can result in a fall that might lead to severe injuries such as fractures or head trauma, or in tragic instances, even death. Adding to the complexity of the situation is the challenge posed by dehydration. As the body ages, its ability to regulate hydration diminishes. Many seniors, often unaware of the need to drink sufficient water throughout the day, find themselves chronically underhydrated. When dehydration sets in, it not only weakens the muscles but also affects the brain, making it more difficult to maintain balance and coordination. This fragile state is exacerbated at night when the body's natural defenses are at their lowest, and every step becomes a calculated risk. The subtle interplay between reduced hydration, weakened muscle strength, and impaired cognitive function can make nighttime movements fraught with danger. I recall sitting with my family in the aftermath of that tragic night, each of us grappling with our own blend of grief, confusion, and a desperate need to understand what had gone wrong. My father had always been the epitome of caution, his actions deliberate and his movements measured. Yet, even his years of careful living could not shield him from the hidden dangers that accompany aging. It became painfully clear that the routine he had followed so faithfully for years was no longer a guarantee of safety. The physical changes that come with age, changes that are both inevitable and unpredictable, had conspired against him in a moment of vulnerability that we could neither foresee nor prevent. In our quest for understanding, we began to delve into the science behind these nighttime hazards. Medical literature and expert opinions reveal that the risks associated with nighttime awakenings are not isolated incidents but part of a broader pattern affecting countless seniors. The mechanisms at play are complex and multifaceted. For example, when an elderly person rises from a state of deep rest, their blood vessels and heart must work in unison to pump oxygen-rich blood to the brain. In a younger body, this adjustment happens almost instantaneously, ensuring that the mind remains clear and the body steady. However, in an aging body, this rapid adjustment is often impaired. The result is a brief but dangerous period during which the brain receives less oxygen, leading to dizziness, blurred vision, and a loss of balance. Even a slight miscalculation during this fleeting moment can precipitate a fall with potentially catastrophic consequences. Moreover, as we explored further, it became apparent that the risk of falling is not solely determined by the physical act of rising from bed. It is also influenced by the broader environment in which the elderly person lives. Many homes, even those that have been lived in for years without incident, can harbor hidden dangers. Poorly lit corridors, uneven flooring, cluttered pathways, and the absence of supportive aids such as grab bars all contribute to an increased risk of falls. For seniors, who may already be contending with diminished vision and slower reflexes, these environmental hazards can be the tipping point between a safe night and a devastating accident. The more we learned about these risks, the more we realized that the tragedy that befell our family was not an isolated incident, but a wake-up call to a much larger, often overlooked issue. There is an urgent need for increased awareness about the dangers that come with nighttime awakenings for the elderly. It is not enough to simply accept these risks as a normal part of aging. Proactive measures must be taken to mitigate them. We began to compile information, drawing on expert recommendations and real-life experiences, with the hope of preventing similar tragedies in other homes. In our research, we encountered a wealth of strategies aimed at reducing nighttime hazards, from simple behavioral changes to more comprehensive environmental modifications. One of the most effective measures we discovered was the concept of gradual awakening. Instead of rising abruptly from bed, seniors are encouraged to sit on the edge of the bed for a minute or two, allowing their bodies to adjust slowly to the change in position. This seemingly minor adjustment can make a significant difference in stabilizing blood pressure and reducing the risk of dizziness. It is a reminder that sometimes the simplest solutions can have the most profound impact on safety and well-being. Hydration, too, plays a critical role in this equation. While it is essential for overall health, maintaining the right balance of hydration throughout the day is particularly important for seniors. The challenge lies in ensuring that the body remains adequately hydrated without causing an overload that might lead to frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom, a situation that, ironically, can increase the risk of falls. By monitoring fluid intake carefully and spreading it out over the course of the day, it is possible to achieve a balance that supports health without compromising safety. Lighting is another factor that cannot be underestimated. Many nighttime falls occur in areas where visibility is poor, and even a small misstep can have disastrous consequences. Installing motion-activated nightlights or ensuring that hallways and bathrooms are well lit can dramatically reduce the risk of falls. These measures, while relatively inexpensive and easy to implement, offer a significant improvement in safety. In many ways, they are a testament to the idea that sometimes the most effective interventions are also the simplest. Of course, no discussion of nighttime safety for seniors would be complete without addressing the importance of regular medical checkups. As we age, our bodies undergo numerous changes that can affect everything from blood pressure to balance and coordination. Routine visits to the doctor can help detect potential issues before they become serious problems. Whether it is monitoring for signs of dehydration, checking for the early onset of conditions like diabetes or hypertension, or simply ensuring that medications are working as intended. Regular medical care is a cornerstone of preventive health. In addition to these practical measures, it is also essential to recognize the emotional and psychological impact that the fear of falling can have on an elderly person. The loss of confidence that often follows a fall can lead to a downward spiral of reduced mobility, increased isolation, and even depression. It is a vicious cycle in which the fear of experiencing another accident prevents seniors from engaging in the very activities that keep them physically active and mentally sharp. Addressing this aspect of the problem requires a holistic approach, one that not only improves physical safety but also supports mental and emotional well-being. Over time, I came to understand that the tragedy of that night was not solely about the physical loss of my father, but also about the unspoken risks that many seniors face every day. It is a reminder that aging is accompanied by challenges that are both visible and invisible, and that the steps we take to protect our loved ones must address both aspects. In the quiet hours of the night, when the world seems to be wrapped in silence, there is a hidden vulnerability that can transform the mundane into the dangerous. And yet, there is hope. By increasing awareness, taking proactive steps, and making small but meaningful changes, we can create a safer environment for those we care about. I have often thought about the irony of it all. A man who lived his life with careful intention, whose every move was deliberate and measured, could fall victim to a hazard so insidious that it lay hidden within his nightly routine. His passing has spurred me to seek out every possible way to prevent such tragedies from occurring again. I have spent countless hours reading studies, consulting with experts, and speaking with families who have experienced similar losses. What I have learned is both sobering and empowering. The risks are real, but they are not insurmountable. With knowledge and action, we can turn the tide and safeguard the well-being of our elderly loved ones. One of the key lessons I have taken from this journey is the importance of communication. It is all too easy to assume that a habit that has served us well for decades will continue to do so indefinitely. But as the body changes, so too must our approach to everyday activities. Families need to engage in open, honest conversations about the risks and work together to implement strategies that can prevent accidents. This means not only discussing practical measures like installing better lighting or using supportive devices, but also addressing the emotional side of aging and the fear that often accompanies it. When we talk about safety, we are also talking about dignity, independence, and the quality of life that our elders deserve. As part of this effort to raise awareness, I have found solace in sharing our story with others. In speaking about the loss of my father, I have met countless individuals who have experienced similar tragedies, or who have lived in constant fear of the hidden dangers that lurk in the night. Their stories, though varied in detail, share a common thread, a deep, abiding concern for the well-being of those who are most vulnerable. These conversations have led to the exchange of practical advice and heartfelt encouragement. I have learned that small changes, when embraced collectively, can have a monumental impact on the safety and happiness of our aging population. In many ways, the journey towards safer nighttime routines has been both an emotional and practical one. I have come to appreciate that every recommendation, whether it is to take a moment to sit on the edge of the bed, to hydrate wisely, or to ensure that every room is well lit, is not just a precaution but a lifeline. These are not mere suggestions. They are actionable steps that can mean the difference between a night of peaceful rest and a potentially devastating accident. Each measure, while simple in isolation, contributes to a larger system of care that honors the dignity and worth of every elderly person. I have also encountered a great deal of research that reinforces the urgency of addressing these issues. Medical journals and studies emphasize that as our population ages, the number of nighttime falls and related injuries is set to rise dramatically unless preventive measures are adopted on a wide scale. This data is not meant to instill fear, but to serve as a catalyst for change. It is a call to arms for families, communities, and healthcare providers to work together in creating environments that support safe, independent living for our seniors. The statistics are clear. Falls remain one of the leading causes of injury among older adults, and many of these incidents occur during the dark, quiet hours of the night. When we consider the cumulative impact on families and communities, the need for action becomes even more urgent. In my own journey of coping with loss and striving for prevention, I have come to believe that prevention must be both holistic and compassionate. It is not enough to install motion sensor lights or to suggest that someone sit on the edge of the bed. We must also address the underlying factors that contribute to vulnerability. This means ensuring that our loved ones have access to regular medical care, that they maintain a balanced diet, and that they engage in physical activities that promote strength and stability. It means fostering a sense of connection and community, so that no one feels isolated or abandoned in the face of age-related challenges. One area that has particularly captured my attention is the role of nutrition and natural remedies in supporting overall health and resilience. Inspired by the practices of communities known for their longevity and vitality, I began exploring simple, natural recipes that could help bolster the immune system and improve physical strength. In many of the world's so-called blue zones, where people live to 100 and beyond, a nutrient-rich diet is a cornerstone of daily life. These cultures emphasize fresh, whole foods, regular physical activity, and strong social bonds, all of which contribute to a life of sustained health and energy. Drawing on this wisdom, I developed a homemade green juice recipe that I now consider a small but significant part of my father's legacy. This juice is not a miracle cure, but rather a gentle reminder that nature provides us with the tools we need to enhance our well-being. It combines leafy greens, herbs, and natural fruits in a blend designed to support the body's natural detoxification processes, boost energy levels, and reinforce the immune system. The ingredients are simple: a generous handful of spinach or kale, a few sprigs of parsley, a crisp green apple for a touch of natural sweetness, a squeeze of fresh lemon juice for its vitamin C and digestive benefits, and a small piece of ginger to reduce inflammation and stimulate circulation. Blended together with a measured amount of water, this juice can become a daily ritual that helps fortify the body against the cumulative stresses of aging. I began sharing this recipe with friends and family, not as a replacement for proper medical care, but as a complement to the many measures that support healthy aging. In the process, I found that it became a symbol of hope, a tangible action that we can take in the midst of grief and loss to honor the memory of those we have lost and to protect the lives of those still with us. It is a reminder that even in the face of inevitable change, there are choices we can make that foster resilience and vitality. By incorporating natural, healthful practices into our daily routines, we can empower ourselves and our loved ones to face the challenges of aging with grace and determination. Throughout this long, arduous journey, I have encountered moments of profound sorrow intertwined with flashes of inspiration. I have met caregivers and medical professionals who, despite the heavy burden of responsibility they carry, are dedicated to making a difference in the lives of older adults. Their work has shown me that compassion, coupled with practical action, can transform even the bleakest circumstances. They have taught me that safety is not merely the absence of harm, but the presence of care, understanding, and proactive measures that address the unique needs of the elderly. I often think back to that night, the night when routine became dangerous and the comfort of familiarity was replaced by a painful void. It is a night that will forever be etched in my memory, not just as a moment of loss, but as a turning point that reshaped my understanding of what it means to care for those we love. In the days and weeks that followed, I found myself surrounded by a community of people who shared similar stories of sudden accidents and unforeseen tragedies. We spoke not only of our pain but also of the lessons we had learned, the importance of paying attention to the smallest details, of never taking routine for granted, and of always being prepared for the unexpected twists that life can present. In reflecting on these experiences, I have come to realize that our greatest challenges often teach us the most profound lessons. The loss of my father was an event that no one should ever have to endure, yet it has opened my eyes to the silent risks that many face each night. It has driven me to advocate for greater awareness and to share the insights I have gained with anyone who will listen. Whether it is encouraging someone to install a set of secure grab bars or to reassess the lighting in their home, every small action has the potential to save a life. I believe that by combining knowledge with compassion, we can create a future where the elderly are not forced to choose between independence and safety, where they can move through the night with confidence rather than fear. As I write this, I am filled with a deep sense of urgency and responsibility. The information I share is not meant to alarm but to empower. It is a call to action for families, friends, and communities to come together and address an issue that affects us all. Each precaution, every careful adjustment, is a testament to our love and our commitment to protecting those who have given so much throughout their lives. In our homes, in our neighborhoods, and in our hearts, there is a growing recognition that the quality of life for our seniors depends on the choices we make today. I have also come to understand that true prevention involves looking beyond immediate fixes and embracing a long-term, holistic approach to health. It means paying attention not only to physical safety but also to the overall well-being of our loved ones. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and mental stimulation are all vital components of a life well lived. When we consider the full spectrum of challenges that come with aging, it becomes clear that a multifaceted approach is necessary, one that encompasses everything from environmental modifications to lifestyle changes and natural remedies. One of the most compelling aspects of this journey has been the way it has transformed my own perspective on aging. Where I once saw the passage of time as a slow, inevitable decline, I now recognize it as an opportunity for growth, resilience, and renewed purpose. In the face of adversity, there is a remarkable capacity for adaptation and reinvention. The measures we implement to safeguard our physical health are not a concession to frailty, but rather a celebration of the wisdom and experience that come with age. They are an acknowledgement that every stage of life deserves to be lived with dignity, care, and the highest possible quality of life. The quiet, measured steps we take at night, the pause at the edge of the bed, the careful consideration of our surroundings, the intentional effort to stay hydrated and nourished, are acts of self-respect and self-care. They remind us that, despite the challenges of aging, every moment holds the potential for safety, comfort, and even joy. It is in these small, deliberate actions that we find our strength, our resolve, and our ability to persevere in the face of uncertainty. Now, as I continue to honor my father's memory, I am compelled to share these insights with anyone who might benefit from them. I know that the decisions we make in our daily lives can have far-reaching consequences. I know that a single change, a slight adjustment in our routines, a commitment to better hydration, a thoughtful enhancement of our living spaces, can be the difference between tragedy and safety. I also know that when we come together as a community, when we share our stories and our knowledge, we build a network of care that extends far beyond the walls of our homes. In the end, the message I wish to impart is one of hope, responsibility, and unwavering love. The loss I experienced has taught me that life is fragile, and that even the most familiar routines can harbor hidden dangers. But it has also taught me that we are capable of profound resilience and remarkable transformation. By taking the time to understand the risks, by implementing simple yet effective measures, and by nurturing our bodies and minds with natural, wholesome practices, we can create a safer, more vibrant future for ourselves and for those we cherish. I invite anyone who has ever felt the pang of uncertainty while watching a loved one navigate the challenges of aging to join me in this journey of awareness and proactive care. Let us commit to not only recognizing the dangers that lie in the quiet hours of the night, but also to embracing the solutions that can transform those dangers into opportunities for growth and protection. It is a journey that demands both vigilance and compassion, a journey that begins with a single step and a simple act of care. In sharing my father's story, I have learned that the true measure of our love lies in the actions we take to safeguard those who matter most. Every adjustment made, every precaution taken, is a tribute to a life well lived and a promise to protect the future. I have seen firsthand how a moment of hesitation, a brief pause before standing up, a thoughtful adjustment in one's environment, can be the very act that preserves life. And while the pain of loss remains a constant reminder of what was, it also serves as a powerful impetus to drive meaningful change. As I reflect on the long hours spent researching, planning, and implementing safety measures, I am filled with gratitude for the countless individuals who have shared their experiences and expertise along the way. Their contributions have been invaluable in building a framework of knowledge that empowers us to take control of our own destinies. It is through this collective wisdom that we can hope to diminish the silent threats that have claimed so many lives, and to build a future where each night is met with the assurance of safety rather than the specter of fear. Every night, as the darkness settles and the world quiets down, there is a gentle reminder that life is both precious and unpredictable. In those moments, the simple act of rising from bed takes on a profound significance. It is a ritual that carries with it the weight of memories, the promise of a new day, and the responsibility to honor the lives of those who came before us. It is a call to action, a call to adapt, to care, and to ensure that the light of safety burns brightly in every corner of our lives. I hope that by sharing these reflections and practical insights, I can contribute in some small way to preventing further heartbreak. The lessons learned from my father's passing are hard-won, but they carry a message of empowerment and hope. They remind us that, even in the midst of sorrow, there is an opportunity to create change, to turn tragedy into a catalyst for lasting improvement in the quality of life for our elders. In the quiet moments before sleep, as the mind drifts between the realms of memory and anticipation, let us remember that every precaution taken, every small adjustment, is an act of profound love. It is a commitment to honor those who have given us so much by ensuring that their remaining years are filled with dignity, comfort, and security. It is a promise that we will continue to learn, to adapt, and to protect the vulnerable with every resource at our disposal. There is a deep-seated wisdom in the understanding that our bodies, once resilient and unyielding, now require a gentler approach, a careful recalibration of the routines that once sustained us without question. And as we navigate this new reality, let us do so with the knowledge that each careful step, each mindful action, contributes to a tapestry of care that spans generations. The legacy of our loved ones is not defined solely by the moments of loss, but by the ways in which we rise above that loss to forge a future marked by compassion, safety, and mutual support. I have come to see that the journey towards safer nights is not a solitary one. It is a collective endeavor that calls upon families, healthcare providers, community leaders, and even policymakers to work together in addressing an issue that affects us all. It is a mission that transcends individual experience and speaks to the broader responsibility we share in safeguarding our elders. In every home, in every community, there is an opportunity to build an environment where the night does not bring fear but rather a sense of calm and security. The lessons of that long, painful night continue to resonate with me, urging me to advocate for better care and more comprehensive support for seniors everywhere. I now understand that the most effective form of tribute to my father's memory is not one of sorrow, but of action, a commitment to ensure that his passing was not in vain, and that the insights gained from our loss will protect others in the years to come. It is a mission that requires persistence, empathy, and a willingness to see beyond the immediate tragedy to the broader picture of aging and safety. In the end, the story of my father is one of both heartbreak and hope. It is a narrative that speaks to the fragility of life, the inevitability of change, and the boundless capacity for resilience. It reminds us that every night carries with it both risks and the promise of a new dawn. And as we face the uncertainties of the dark hours, let us do so with the conviction that our efforts, no matter how small, can illuminate the path toward a safer, more compassionate world. I share these reflections with you not as a mere recounting of events, but as an earnest plea for vigilance and care. Let my father's story be a reminder that every life is precious, and that the routines we often take for granted can, if neglected, become the very source of danger. And yet, in our collective efforts to understand and mitigate these risks, there lies the power to transform tragedy into a legacy of care and protection, a legacy that ensures that each night is met with the quiet assurance that our loved ones are safe. As you read these words, I urge you to take a moment to reflect on the routines in your own home. Consider the small changes that could make a big difference: a gentle adjustment to the lighting, a careful rearrangement of furniture, a thoughtful conversation with an aging family member about the risks they face. In these actions, there is the potential to create an environment where safety and comfort are not mutually exclusive, but rather intertwined in the fabric of everyday life. In embracing these ideas, we honor not only those we have lost, but also those who continue to share our journey through life. Every step taken in the spirit of prevention is a testament to our love, a silent promise that we will do everything in our power to protect the vulnerable among us. It is a commitment that requires continuous learning, unwavering compassion, and a determination to ensure that the darkness of night never conceals dangers that we could have prevented. This is the message I carry forward, that in the seemingly mundane act of rising from bed lies a profound opportunity for care and prevention. It is a call to transform everyday routines into acts of mindfulness, to recognize that every precaution taken is a step toward a safer future. And in doing so, we not only preserve the memory of those who have gone before us, but also pave the way for a future where aging is met with dignity, respect, and above all, safety. Let these words serve as both a tribute and a call to action. May the memory of my father, and the lessons born of that one fateful night, inspire us all to take the steps necessary to protect our loved ones. In the quiet moments of reflection that follow each day's end, may we find the strength to make those small changes that hold the power to prevent tragedy and to nurture a legacy of care that endures through the years. I hope that by sharing this journey, from the depths of personal loss to the heights of a renewed commitment to safety and well-being, you will be moved to consider the routines in your own life. I ask you to reach out to family, to encourage dialogue about these issues, and to take action in ways that honor the fragility of life while celebrating the resilience of the human spirit. Each day offers a chance to redefine what it means to live safely and fully, to transform vulnerability into empowerment, and to turn caution into a celebration of life's enduring beauty. In the end, the responsibility falls on each of us to be vigilant, compassionate, and proactive. As the night draws near and the shadows lengthen, let us be guided by the light of knowledge and the warmth of shared care. Together, we can create a future where the risks that once lurked in the darkness are met with prepared minds and loving hearts. And in that future, every elderly person can move through the night with the confidence that they are cherished, supported, and safe. The journey is long and sometimes fraught with setbacks, but every small improvement, every new precaution adopted, is a step toward a brighter, safer tomorrow. May the lessons learned from loss be transformed into actions of hope and prevention, ensuring that the legacy of our elders is one of continued care, respect, and unconditional love. As we move forward, let us embrace every opportunity to enhance the quality of life for those who have given so much, transforming our shared vulnerabilities into a collective strength that lights the way through even the darkest nights. In this spirit of hope and determination, I share my story and the insights I have gathered over these difficult years. May they serve as a reminder that while life is unpredictable and sometimes painfully fragile, our capacity to care for one another is boundless. Each moment we choose to act, each routine we choose to safeguard, reinforces the promise that no one should ever face the night alone or unprotected. And it is in that promise that we find the true measure of our humanity, a measure that honors the past, embraces the present, and secures the future for all who follow. Every life is a tapestry of moments, and every night holds within it the potential for both risk and redemption. As you reflect on these words, I invite you to consider how you might contribute to a safer, more compassionate world for our elders. In the gentle act of rising from bed, in the simple rituals that define our days, lies the power to transform sorrow into strength and uncertainty into steadfast care. Let us move forward with the conviction that our actions today will shape a legacy of safety, dignity, and enduring love for generations to come. May the memory of those we have lost guide us as we forge a path toward a future where every night is met with the assurance of care and every life is valued beyond measure. And as we continue on this journey, Let us never forget that in our collective efforts to protect the vulnerable, we are not only preserving life, but also celebrating the beauty and resilience that define the human spirit. In the end, the story of that fateful night is more than just a tale of loss. It is a testament to the transformative power of care, awareness, and the unyielding commitment to create a safer world. It is a reminder that even in the quiet hours, when the shadows seem deepest, the light of our determination can shine brightly enough to guide us through. And as we honor the memory of my father and all those who have suffered similar tragedies, let us pledge to carry forward this legacy of vigilance and compassion. I share these reflections with the hope that they will inspire action, spark conversations, and ultimately, save lives. Let us all strive to make the necessary changes, no matter how small they may seem, because every step taken in the name of safety is a tribute to the love we hold for our families and a commitment to a future where no one is left unprotected in the quiet darkness of the night. May our shared resolve turn the routine act of rising from bed into a mindful celebration of life, a ritual that honors the wisdom of our elders and safeguards the promise of each new day. And in doing so, may we transform personal tragedy into a lasting beacon of hope, one that shines brightly for all who seek to live with dignity, care, and the unwavering knowledge that they are cherished beyond measure. As you ponder these words and reflect on the significance of every small, deliberate act of care, remember that in our collective efforts lies the power to rewrite the narrative of aging, a narrative defined not by vulnerability and loss, but by resilience, love, and the unbreakable spirit of community. Let us take this message to heart, for in doing so, we not only honor the memory of those we have lost, but also ensure that the lives of those we love are protected, cherished, and celebrated with every new dawn. I hope that my journey, from that shattering night of loss to a relentless pursuit of awareness and prevention, serves as both a warning and an inspiration. May it encourage you to examine your own routines, to embrace proactive measures, and to join me in the mission to create a world where every elderly person can face the night with courage and confidence. And may the memory of my father, and the lessons gleaned from his passing, be a guiding light that transforms tragedy into a catalyst for lasting change. In the gentle glow of twilight, as you prepare to retire for the night, let your thoughts be filled not with fear, but with the hope that every precaution you take, every thoughtful adjustment you make, builds a sanctuary of safety for those who matter most. Together, let us forge a future where the simple act of rising from bed is not a moment of vulnerability but a deliberate, empowered step toward a life filled with dignity, care, and the promise of a new day. I share these words in the earnest belief that through our collective commitment to safety, love, and mindful living, we can transform the silent dangers of the night into a legacy of resilience and hope. May the lessons of the past illuminate our path forward, guiding us as we work tirelessly to ensure that every night is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit, and that no one is ever left to face the darkness alone. As we continue on this path, let every step, every precaution, and every act of care be a tribute to a life well lived and a promise to protect the precious gift of life. In the quiet moments before sleep, may you find comfort in knowing that your commitment to safety and awareness is a powerful force for good, a force that transforms fear into hope and routine into a safeguard against the uncertainties of the night. May our shared journey be a reminder that even in the face of loss, there is the possibility of renewal, and in every act of care, there is the potential to create a brighter, safer future for all. And as you close your eyes tonight, may you do so with the reassurance that every effort you make is a step toward preserving the dignity, independence, and well-being of those who have given us everything. This is my heartfelt plea and my unwavering commitment, that we all rise, both figuratively and literally, with mindfulness, care, and a steadfast determination to protect the ones we love. In doing so, we honor the memory of those we have lost and build a legacy of hope that will endure for generations to come. Thank you for taking the time to read these reflections and for joining me on this journey towards safer, more compassionate living. May every night bring you not only rest but also the assurance that through our collective efforts, we are making a difference that, in the quiet moments of each new dawn, speaks to the enduring power of love, care, and the relentless human spirit.